racing on Saturday out at Turffontein. We are racing on the stand-side track Saturday, the 8th of July. We've got 9 races on the program, which means that the bipod will commence in race number 2, the place accumulator race number 3, and the pick 6 in race number 4. I'm joined by Alistair Cohen on the line. And Alistair, how are you doing?
Hello, Raheel. Yep, good, thanks. The dust is now settled in the back of the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. The week's racing has actually been fair. The Val Thursday card provided a pick 6 carryover. It was a card that I was fairly keen on. There were a few winners, good prices that I managed to find on that card. But I must confess, for a Saturday card at Turffontein, I've seen better. Hopefully, we can make a mountain out of a bit of a molehill.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get straight into it. Race number 1 over the 1,000 meter trip goes off at 12 o'clock. Favorite Empress Game at 5 to 10. It is Tyson the Brave, who's shortened in the market, 33 to 10 into 5 to 2. It's then 10 to 1 and better bar those. Now, this filly Empress Game, she's probably been a bit costly to follow for players that have gone for her in her last 2 starts. And last time out, she looked to be a standout. But Stable Companion was the one that actually came through to win the race with Keegan DeMello aboard, and she was third best on the day. Over this straight course, 1,000 meters, she goes up the lane again. Gavin Larina aboard once again. She looks the filly that they all have to beat just based on the runner's form in black and white here.
Sure, and Raheel, if you look at the form lines of Jasiri, they're not pretty. The second horse, Fairy Circle, ran the Val. In fact, has run twice since. Ran a very average 6th and then followed up with another below par run. The 4th horse, Wilkies, is still a maiden and has been a maiden for a long time. The 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th haven't ripped up any trees. I have serious doubts over the form, but what I will say for Empress Game in her defense is that she jumped, I don't know if it was a patch, a shadow, I don't know if she saw something that wasn't there, but she cost herself some momentum about 200 meters out last time. Jasiri was obviously finishing strongly. It would have been hard for Empress Game to match that turn of foot that Jasiri had, but the point is, the loss of momentum certainly cost Empress Game becoming a real factor last time out. So I'd give her the benefit of the doubt, although I still have a concern or two. I think what's pretty obvious here, especially with the jockey arrangements on numbers 4 and 5, is that Johan Janssen van Vuren's done himself and obviously a few others a favour by keeping this race alive. I don't know if 4 and 5 are going to run. Might be a nice starting point for both of them. They're both very nicely bred horses owned by the Werner's family. But I think number 2, Empress Game, is the right one. The money on number 6, Tyson the Brave, is noteworthy. I think that he brings slightly better form into the picture as debut, although beaten 9 1/4 lengths by Ready to Charge. I like to think that Ready to Charge and the horses that were in that race, Dolcezza and a few others, would make light of this field. And drawn towards the outside on Turffontein stand-side track, that's what you want to see. Stuart Pettigrew had a quiet day on Thursday. I know he expected a bit more, and I'm sure that he'll be hoping to bounce back. So 2, the horse to beat, respect for 6, a very unambitious start from me in race 1.
Yeah, possibly exactas to get your day started, numbers 2 and 6 in race number 1. Next up is going to be race number 2, and race number 2 jumps at 25 to 1 over the 1,000 meter trip, and this year is the start of the bipod. It's an MR 89 handicap. Field of just 6 runners go to post, where Smith & Wesson is your 16 to 10 favorite. It's 28 to 10 about Cosmic Star, Rainbow Reward, 5 to 1 and better bar those. Alistair, Match It, Mkoli, they simply cannot do anything wrong at the moment.
Yeah, 6 winners already this week from around 15 runners, so they are absolutely flying. Smith & Wesson's a horse that's just found his form. He was a very average 2-year-old. It looked like he was going to be one of those forward horses that's not really going to do much afterwards, and he's been the complete opposite. It took him an age to win. He went to a few trainers, and then all of a sudden Paul Matchett figured out what to do with him. Now, I'm having a tough time with this race. I know it's a field of 6. It looks like Paul Matchett's kept this race alive for number 1, Smith & Wesson. So, is it worth discussing Lord Varys over 1,000 metres and even Prince of Green, whose worst run was over 1,000 metres? So I'm not convinced that either of them are going to be running, or whether they're going to be using this as a race to bring them on for the future. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this race sort of whittled down to 3. Number 4, Rainbow Reward, was an eye-catcher just a week earlier at Turffontein, the day after the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. He was doing some good low-level flying. It's not Johan's style to run them back so soon, though. So I don't know about number 4, Rainbow Reward. So I'm defaulting to number 1, Smith & Wesson. I think number 2, Cosmic Star's got a reasonable level of ability. He's got a good turn of foot. I think that, his 2 indifferent runs are a little bit puzzling, but when he turns it on, when he's good, his penultimate start on the Vaal Classic track was a win full of merit. He put, albeit a weaker field, he put them away in absolute contemptuous style. So he's got something about him, but I think he's going to have to pick it up to beat number 1, Smith & Wesson, in race number 2, the opening leg of the bar. But I'll go banker 1, especially if I think they're going to be scratchings.
Yeah, that's horse number 1 at around 16 to 10 in the market, going to be the top selection in the second race on the day. Next up, race number 3, which is a maiden plate for the fillies and mares, set to be run over the 5 furlongs. 10 past 1 is the time that race number 3 jumps at. And Wait for Green Light is your favorite at 16 to 10. The money's come for the first time a year. That's number 5, Jumping Analia, from the Tony Peter yard. Now, this filly's from around 9 to 2 into 3 to 1. Doesn't take too much a short in a first timer, but there is a bit of support around for her. White Hills is at 5 to 1. It's then 8 to 1. And Better Bar those. Now, Alistair, this filly, Wait for the Green Light, I think she's been costly to follow for the yard. Last time out, she should have won, because she had Happy Analia held on a run prior to that, and Happy Analia turned the form around. She now gets the blinkers on, but she's a filly that could certainly be vulnerable. This horse, White Hills, I thought she would have possibly won at her last start, if not a start earlier. She does return off rest, but I think if she's sort of in the right condition heading towards this race, I think that she'll go very close.
Okay, so let me start with number 10, White Hills here, Raheel. That was when Magna's yard was totally flattened by a virus and abnormal temperatures. He had a bad streak. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't only Magna. A lot of Randjiesfontein trainers did, and they were crying blue murder that horses have just got snotty noses and not performing. But Magna was one of about 4 yards at Randjiesfontein that was totally flattened, absolutely taken out of it. So expect number 10, White Hills, to run better, especially over 1,000 meters. But I've reluctantly banked number 9, Wait for Green Light, because I can't find bankers anywhere else. I think she's too short. I mean, last time we got burnt on Wait for Green Light at a price of 8 to 10, where she took on probably a slightly weaker field. But from a PA perspective, I can't see her missing the first 3. So touch wood, she runs another nice race. Hopefully for her connection, she wins. But she is not a filly that you can go broke on. She's just got the most inspiring form. The money on number 5, Jumping Analia, is something to take note of. Obviously, the yard just carry on as if this is the way to do it. So number 5, Jumping Analia, needs to be respected. Dennis Schwarz takes her out of the store to be right. To be fair, it does have a little bit of spark in the family and in the siblings as well. So maybe there is a little bit of precociousness about number 5, Jumping Analia. And then number 10, White Hills, no shock if she were to win and bounce back to form, because she has run with nicer horses while Wait for Green Light has, to be fair.
Yeah, that's horse number 9, Wait for Green Light. That's going to be a banker in the place accumulator for Alistair. You can take your chances here in the first leg. You can banker this individual, and she's set to give you a good run for your money, but there could certainly be a bit of opposition in a few of these runners. Next up, race number 4, which will be the start of the Pick 6 on the day. Set to be run over the 1,000 meter trip. This is the fillies and mares 74 handicap, and you need to get those Pick 6 bets on by 10 to 2 on the afternoon. It is a Golden Sickle, your favorite, at 2 to 1, taking on Open Company for the first time. First run up in the Highveld for this filly. It's Samoa at 5 to 1, and Samoa's on a quick backup here. It's Insatiable at 5 to 1 as well, and then it's 6 to 1 and Better Bar those. Now, Tony Peter, he's got three of the 11 runners in this event here, and Golden Sickle, the shortest of those. And she's obviously a filly that was, let me not say was, probably still is highly rated by the owners here, and possibly a filly that shows them a lot back at home. And she's now obviously moved over, formerly with Justin State, and she ran in PE. She just found sort of the filly that is dominating over in PE in the 2-year-old ranks, Luna Halo. And then last time out, I thought she was quite disappointing over 1,400 meters. I thought she would have run a lot closer, but when you have a look at the fillies that she's been beaten by, Raskova, the Charleston, October Morn, in this type of event, she should be very, very competitive.
Absolutely, Raheel. So there's a few points. First of all, the family, the Victorian Secret family, is a very sparky and speedy family. When they've got a temperament, they are deadly. I don't know much about Golden Sickle, obviously, other than the fact that she turned up at the VAR on Thursday in a case of mistaken identity. One fell swoop was scratched due to an ID discrepancy because the horse that came along was Golden Sickle. Now, I don't know whether they've been training One Fell Swoop thinking it's Golden Sickle. I don't know if it was, an honest mistake in the wrong. Any amount of scenarios are playing out here. But number one, Golden Sickle. You talk about the horses that she's run with in the class, like Raskova, the Charleston, October Morn, etc. But also Luna Halo, I think should be competitive anywhere in the country. She already showed that in the 2-year-old feature at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth at the end of their summer season. So, number one, Golden Sickle, I think, has got the best credentials, an improving filly, and coming back to 1,000 metres, I think could be key. She's 1 from 1 over the trip. My backup is the stable companion, number 8, Mia Regina, only because Gavin Lorena's down to 55.5 to ride this daughter of Pomodoro. I don't think she's going to Hollywood, but I think that there might be a little bit more to come from this girl, because she probably needed her last run when she tried pacifiers for the first time. She wasn't disgraced behind Samoa, so I'm expecting a little bit of an upward jump from number 8, Mia Regina, in the opening leg of the Pick 6. For Pick 6 purposes, it's open. I think Damo Star, number 7's a runner. I think 5, Insatiable, can't be left out. Samoa's, although the fittest horse in the race, ran disappointingly on Thursday, I couldn't possibly leave her out of the Pick 6 just because of the following she's got and the way that she performs and the expectations that she always carries. Even number 9, Red Carpet Girl, hasn't got her legs tied up either. But for PA 1 and 8, they're the horses I'm going to revolve my second leg of the place accumulator around. But you'll need a few for the Pick 6.
I think include number 9, Red Carpet Girl. She's a filly that was doing her best work as finished last time out. 1,000 could just be on the sharper side, but she'll be running home strongly. And Fani Broncos, he's got his horses in a good shape at the moment, so that's another one to possibly include. Race number 5, over the 1,000 meter trip yet again. This is an MR81 handicap, goes off at 2 on the afternoon. And race number 5, your favorite is Treamici at 3-1. 7-2 about Munchkin, Covert Operator, Black Egret, King Rahul, both have found support. Iron Sky is the only scratching in this event here. And when we have a look at this race, Alistair, it's quite a competitive event at the 81 level. This horse, Munchkin, now, he was a horse that's been supported from day one. He's related to that filly Egyptian Mao. I thought ran with a bit of credit on Hollywoodbets Durban July Day, but if this horse is fit and ready to strike after a 154-day layoff, he could be the horse to beat.
Raheel, sure, this race has me absolutely flummoxed because, yes, Munchkin is my top choice. His reputation precedes him, but I will back the word of Craig Zaki and Lucky Hudulakis about the son of Rafif. Craig was in New Zealand when he started his career. He was courted to run. I think before he made his debut, Craig was courted to ride, and he came to me and said, that is a machine. Obviously with a couple of issues, which I think is evident by the fact that he's only had 3 starts and he's a rising 4-year-old. But, let's take the word on trust, because I don't think he's been the easiest to control, number 2, Munchkin. If he comes back in good shape, he'll be hard to beat. More on reputation rather than evidence in front of you. Number 3, Bronco Blitz, I thought put up a lovely run 6 days earlier. The son of Velado, as you mentioned, Fani Bronco's horses are in good shape at the moment. I don't think he's all that far away from winning. I would have liked to see his rating come down just a point or 2 until we can really put our head down with number 3, Bronco Blitz. But I think he'll run nicely, and I wouldn't want to let him run loose for the place accumulator, because he'd be a nice horse to double up with. And then my other backup is number 10, Treamici, the horse at the top of the board. I'm surprised he's still a one-time winner. He comes in here well weighted. That is by virtue of Sianda Sasible's 2.5 kilo allowance, but he can't be too far away. I think in winter on a fast track, although the track starts to turn colour, you've still got about 2 months left. But I think that Treamici is a type of horse who could well get to the green grass when the rains come at the mid part of spring when it comes here in Joburg. That Treamici might have a few extra wins under the belt. I think a fast track, if he gets away, can be a very hard horse to peg back in races to come over the coming months.
Yeah, that's 2, 3, and 10. Those are going to be the numbers for Alistair in the place accumulator. And Triamici, your favorite in this event. And let's see if he manages to get the job done and notch up that second career victory. But Munchkin, he's the one to keep an eye on in the 5th race on the card. Next up, race number 6, which goes off at 3 o'clock, the top of the hour, 1,600 meters the distance. It is an MR91 handicap, so it's quite a competitive event. It's a field of 9 runners that go to post, where Brave Viking is your favorite at 33 to 10. Tizona, he's at 4 to 1. Trident King at 9 to 2. It's in 5 to 1. And Better Bar those. Now, Alistair, what's your thoughts on this event? Because it's quite a competitive event and a race where you possibly need to go as wide as you can in those exotics.
Let me just state my case here, Raheel, and saying that there's 2 horses in this race that I am a big fan of. One of them I think is going to need the run, but who I'm going to watch closely. That's number 2, Atticus Finch. I'll be surprised if he were to win after 154 days off the course on the back of a moderate run in the World Sports Betting Gauteng Guineas, but he's a horse that I'm going to keep my eye on. The other horse that I'm a big fan of is number 5, Brave Viking. He's a beautiful son of William Longsword. He's got all the attributes, he's got the looks, and he's clearly got a good degree of ability as well. Joey Somers' yard has been a little bit quiet though. Brave Viking's pretty much been the only one that's been, carrying the flag, so to speak, for Joey. He's had a little bit of a rough time of late as Joey, but I'm sure we'll see him sooner rather than later. And I think a horse like Brave Viking will bring him back guns blazing. So I'm expecting good things from Brave Viking, both on Saturday and in the future. What type of level he's going to get to, I don't know, but I think that while he's in this type of form, and for the looks he's got, he's just a nice horse to be a fan of. The other horse that I'm on the side of that I think is going to run nicely here is number 6, Destiny of Souls. The ratings come down a point. I think he just needed his last run when finishing 2.5 lengths to Stratospheric. There was no disgrace in that run. I don't think he's quite going to Hollywood, but I think that he's close to the right place now to pull something out of the bag, number 6, Destiny of Souls. So if not winning, I can see him going fairly close.
And maybe even horse number 3, Trident King, could be worth a look here. He's a horse that certainly turned the corner ever since going up to the Highveld, and he gets the services of Pierre Stradom, and he enjoys the course and distance, so maybe he could be one to include into the mix. But a competitive event, and Alistair is going to be keeping an eye on horse number 2, Atticus Finch from the Alec Laird yard. We move along to race number 7. It's an MR82 handicap over 1,600 meters, and this event, Caliber Crest is your 2 to 1 favorite. That's from the Joey Soma yard. Scallywag at 3 to 1. It's 4 to 1 about Angel of War, 6 to 1. And Better Bar those. Now, Caliber Crest, he's a horse that's obviously kept in high regard. He's a well-bred son of Twice Over. He's a 4-year-old that's only had 8 starts, but he's clearly got quite a bit of ability. Samanga Kumalo aboard, and this horse is definitely one that's going to run a huge race. Scallywag, second favorite at 3 to 1. Now, he's a horse that he takes a step up in class here after his last win. I'm still a bit surprised how this horse won his maiden beaten free movement and how he managed to win straight out the maidens. But he's clearly a horse that's enjoyed the new surroundings.
Yeah, so I'm keen on number 4, Caliber Crest here, Raheel. He's kept in high regard, as you mentioned. Samanga Kamalo takes it from a bit of an iffy draw, but I think he's probably still a step ahead of the handicap. I know that he hasn't won off an 81 yet, but I'd also take the punt and say that he's probably in the wrong type of races. They took the opportunity to run him off a lightweight against well-performed and good, tough horses, and I think that he's probably in the right type of place now. Having his 4th run after a rest, there's a lot to like about number 4, Caliber Crest chances here. It's not a matter of him being on his day, because I don't think he's actually had a bad day, number 4, Caliber Crest. Maybe costly for some, but he's just got the ability that suggests that there's a bit more to come from number 4, Caliber Crest. The backup here, numbers 6 and 1, Angel of War, Paul Matchett, Cabello Mazzaniani team up with Angel of War. Reasonable, good enough form to recommend. He's probably going to be there and thereabouts again. And then number 1, Captain of Grit, that was a surprise last time. He needed the run very badly. He went down to the start extremely well, and when he went down to the start, Canis didn't even go to the VAR that day. I said, sure. For a a horse who needs it. He's strode out very, very well. But he is a lovely horse, number one, Captain of Grit. He's had a couple of issues along the way, but he's in good heart at the moment. Gavin Larena was very, very quick to get onto the phone. He blew them away last time. Don't be put off by that margin. He carried top weight. He beat Mio Fiore by a length that could have been more than that if he was really punched out. And he's taken a step forward. That is probably offset by the fact that he's taking on slightly stronger, but there's no reason to leave out number one, Captain of Grit. But I think number four, Caliber Crest, might just have his number this time around at the terms of half a kilo, and Caliber Crest probably one run fitter than Captain of Grit.
Yeah, Joey Sommer, races 6 and 7. He looks to have two very, very lively chances. And maybe if you're a Joey Sommer fan, maybe a Joey Sommer double on the day, races 6 and 7. But numbers 1, 4, and 6, that's going to be the numbers for Alistair in race number 7, which is the fifth leg of that place accumulator. Next up will be race number 8. And race number 8 is set to be around over 1,400 meters. This is the Fillies and Mares 92 handicap that jumps at 10 past 4. Celtic Rumours 15-10 favourite after her, I thought, quite a nice comeback run last time out. Queen of Shadows at 9-2. Wakonda, this individual, is at 11-2, and then it's 10-1 and Better Bar those. Now Celtic Rumours, she looks to be the horse that they all have to beat here. I thought her comeback run was very, very encouraging over 1,200 meters. The step up in trip is set to suit her. She's just got a deep draw to overcome, but Calvin knows her well, so he'll probably get into a nice position, and she'll be finishing off a race very strongly.
If she was drawn better, I'd make her a banker. But just a little bit to go from 1,400 meters, draw 10 out of 10, you're going to need a lot of luck. She's a good filly, Celtic Rumours. She was entitled to need the last run. She was the eye catcher last time behind Big Eyed Girl. And I'd suggest that Celtic Rumours is going to be at her best over this type of distance, maybe even a mile. So there's a lot to like about her chances, but for the draw. Just wish she was drawn, 3 places further to the rail. Number 2, Celtic Rumours would be a banker. So in that case, I've backed her up with number 1, Queen of Shadows, who is, well overdue. She deserves her next win. Her ratings come down by another pound. Caden Brewer takes her out. Alec Ledziot is in very good form at the moment, so there's a man whose horses you can't leave out. I'm blown away that she hasn't won in 672 days for all her good work and her good performances that she's been putting in time and time again. Maybe this is the right spot for number 1, Queen of Shadows. So they're the 2 horses that I'm going to row in with. One of my favourites, number 3, Wakonda, I'd bracket in the next next position for running a nice race, but ultimately falling short. Number 4, Admire Me, is going to improve with that last run under the belt. Please believe me, she's got every chance of earning here. Surprised if she wins. She's probably one run away from really getting some fireworks. Number 4, Admire Me, but expect improvement there. There's a nice race for Strange Magic at the end of the month, although she could also get into the top 4 if she's at her best and if she's in the mood. Even 7, Kayla's Champ must have some sort of claims. The last time she was over this course and distance, she nearly turned over LMB and caused an upset. But I think 1 and 2 have just got the most class here, so they're going to be the 2 in the place accumulator.
Yeah, that's the top 2 in the betting market as well, and they could potentially fight out the finish in race number 8. The final race on the day, race number 9, goes off at 4:45. It is over 1,400 meters. It's a Fillies and Mares 76 handicap, and it's quite a big field that go to post here. A field of 16 runners with 2 reserves. Call Me When You Need Me is the favorite at 7-2. It's Sea Anemone at 6-1. It is Dancing Arabian 8-1. Lollapalooza 10-1, along with Save the Queen, Trump My Queen, and then 12-1 and Better Bar those. Alistair, your thoughts on the final race on the day? It's a race that you could get a huge result that will give those place accumulators, jackpots, pick sixes a huge boost to close out proceedings.
My thoughts here, Rahil, are let's start off with the favourite, number 10, Call Me When You Need Me. Over 1,400 metres, I have serious doubts.
Yeah.
She's in my place accumulator because of the form she carries, but 1,400 metres, I don't know. I can't banker her. I can't recommend her as a good thing. If she wins, she's just simply better and more progressive than anything else in this race, because I think she's a 1,000-metre horse. Even though she ran second over 1,200 last time, she went to the front and she got totally outrun by Francine, and there was nothing else in that race. So That's my feeling with number 10, Call Me When You Need Me. Pierce Stratum riding from Mike de Kock. I think Mike must have had a heavy night the night before, because even though we play golf a lot, de Kock, Stratum, and a lot of the other guys in the Wednesday school, that's something I never thought I'd see on the racetrack again. And it's great for both of them, because they're both Hall of Famers. For me, the best jockey I've called through binoculars in South Africa, Pierce Stratum, for the best trainer or the best performed trainer in South Africa, Mike de Kock. Stratum's coming to an end. I hope that he can get number 4, See an Enemy, into the winner's enclosure, because for all their ups and downs, for their friendship, but also professionally just never being on the same page, number 4, See an Enemy, I actually want to win the race, just for that whole dynamic. I'd love to do the interview afterwards. I hope Mike's there. I don't think he will be, but still, I'll phone Mike afterwards and give him a few words. That would be a lovely moment. And I think she's got claims as well. Her penultimate start came at grade 3 level on the 3 Troika Stakes, probably a little bit much too soon. She probably needed her last run behind Sir Yaverman, and I think that she'll be set up nicely to run a better race here. 6 Dancing Arabian, I nearly made a good amount of money on her last time out, but she's got a terrible draw. I'll recommend her as a chance on the back of that last run, but the draw is obviously a big concern. And then number 12, Island Beauty. I called that last run behind Ballroom Bliss, even though she was well beaten. At one stage, she actually looked like she was going to make a positive move to run about second, and she ran out of puff. So dropping in distance, I think, is crucial for number 12, Island Beauty. So she's going to be my little lurker in the race. So top choice, 4, See an Enemy. I'm going to go with the Volkerbos drift horses. 4 and 12 as my top choices, and then 10 and 6 after that in a very, very open finale.
Alistair, what's your thoughts on number 5, I Am Regal? 98 down to 74. Signs of life in her last 2 starts. Blinkers go on. Paul Matchett, Pelasande and Goli. She's got a deep draw to overcome, but she's a filly that can get back in races and tends to run on, and this is a dropping class for her.
My next choice, undoubtedly Raheel. There was so much talk for her last time out, and I actually didn't see the angle for it. Everyone came to me and said, I Am Regal's found money, she'll win. Don't leave her out. And I found it hard to agree with him, but she actually put up a nice performance, and dropping to this type of level, she's alive, number 5, I Am Regal. So no shock if she were to win. She just hasn't made the cut in the place accumulator.
Yeah, that's race number 9. It's a very tricky race to close off proceedings. You want to go as wide as you possibly can in the final race on the day. Next up, we're going to move along to the suggested bet, and Alistair will take us through his place accumulator on the day, which is set to get underway in race number 3. And race number 3 jumps at 10 past 1. Alistair, take it away with your PA.
Yeah, thanks, Raheel. It's an expensive spend, so just perhaps use this more as a guide than gospel. Firstly, I've gone with banker number 9, Wait for Green Lights, although I think she's vulnerable to win it. By 1 and 8, Golden Sickle and Mia Regina. I'm in the Tony Peter camp there. Then I've gone 2, 3 and 10, Munchkin, Bronco Blitz and Trey Amici in race 5, which is leg 3, backing the next race up with numbers 5 and 6, Brave Viking and Destiny of Souls. Then 1, 4 and 6, so Captain of Grit, Caliber Crest and Angel of War. By 1 and 2, Queen of Shadows and Celtic Rumors. Like I said, Celtic Rumors, I'd make a 4.5-star bet with a better draw. Now she's a 4-star bet. And then the final leg, not an easy rate, 4, 6, 10 and 12, my numbers.
Yeah, that's Alistair's place accumulator, which gets underway in race number 3 with a banker of horse number 9, Wait for Green Light. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. All the best, and have a good weekend.
Shot Raheel, same to you. We'll chat again soon. We'll see you soon, and enjoy what's to come.
Absolutely. Thanks very much to Alistair Cohen. All the best, guys, with racing on Saturday out at Turffontein. 9 races on the program. Looks to be a competitive card, but hopefully you manage to find yourself in the winner's queue.